and we just like went in the lifeguard stand and, you know, made out. Woke up the next day, bruises all over my leg from.
Do you think you fell?
I think I did, yeah.
Off of the lifeguard stand?
I think like just like hitting my, you know how like they're really like.
They're so wood. They're thick wood.
We're your besties in your ear. Back for another episode of Mean Girl Pod. Mwah!
Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
The boys are back in town. And Spirit Fingers.
Spirit Fingers are back in town.
Which is why you should watch on YouTube.
Yes.
We said that at the beginning. We didn't wait until the very end to tell people to watch on YouTube.
Guess what?
No, let me actually try to guess. You found an apartment.
I signed a lease this morning.
Yes, tell us about it.
Okay, here's my address. I'm just kidding.
Okay, yes, give it to us and the unit number.
You have given out your address. Yesterday you did.
If people can find me, then they can kill me. That's my new motto. People are always like, don't do the hotel room. And I'm like, if they can figure out the floor and the room number, then good for them.
Also, we stay in hotels where you literally need a key to get up. Like, they wouldn't even let you up to see my room that one time.
It's impossible for me to move floors. So if at that point, you can have me.
So if you don't live in New York, if you do live in New York, you'll realize, like, apartment hunting is hell on earth. It is the worst experience of your entire life, especially in the summer months because it's so busy and it's so hot. So for the past month, I have been literally killing myself to find an apartment. And every place we find, it's like, apply, and they're like, someone else got it. Or they're like, apply, and they're like, if you pay $200 more, you can have it. I'm like, I can't afford that. So finally, last night at 12:04 a.m. or p.m. a.m. in the morning.
This morning.
Yes, 12:04 a.m. I got the lease sent to me. We were approved.
And you got it?
Yes, and I signed it this morning.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you.
I paid an arm and a leg, so that was great. Because it's also very expensive because you have fees and you have to pay first month's rent and deposits. But yeah, I'm really excited. We're moving to the Upper West Side.
Okay.
Which you're going to love the neighborhood, by the way.
I can't wait.
I'm excited. You're actually going to come to my apartment this time.
I'm so excited. Are you going to are you going to do anything different?
Yeah, because now I have a room where my bed only touches one wall.
Oh, wow.
My room now, my bed literally touches 3 walls.
I know, we used to draw it. We used to scale it out and scale art on the walls, and we could do it again.
When you decorated for him, ever like sending you my room, you're like, what is this shape? Because it's like a slant.
Yeah, you like drew it and sent it to me, and I was like, you fucked up this wall, and you're like, no, that's what it looks like. And I was like, oh.
Wait, do you still like decorating?
Yeah.
Honestly, you could help me decorate my room.
I would love to.
And my apartment.
I also have some spare furniture I could give you.
Shut up.
I really do. Howdy, y'all. The Mean Girls, a.k.a. us. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello. We're headed down south for our first ever Southern Summer Tour presented by Pink Whitney, which we'll talk about later in the episode because we're so excited. Tonight's our first one, and we're kicking it off. We'll be stopping in Dallas, Austin, Charleston, Tampa, and Nashville, and we'll be bringing Pink Whitney along for the ride. So make sure to tell your friends and spread the word as we're ready to take some shots and head down south. We're going to be posting the graphic with the dates later. Tell all of your friends, bring your friends. It's going to be so much fun. Pink Whitney is a shot brand dedicated to take your shot, so that's what we'll be doing. We're going to have our little shot trays.
We're going to turn pink.
We're going to paint the town pink. Barstool Sports' only endorsed alcohol brand, Pink Whitney, is the #1 flavored vodka. So head to your local bar today, shoot your shot with all your best friends, and whenever we post these graphics, DM them to all your friends and be like, we're going.
And we better see you all there.
And Jordyn will take a shot with you.
And you will
I'll
too.
take a shot with you too. But I always swear, I'm always like, I could just bury me with the flavor of Pink Whitney.
I took 13 shots in Oklahoma, so,
So let's see if we can do 14 tonight. You do 14.
I'm turn pink.
I had to turn pink.
But it's so fun.
They're so much fun, and they taste so good.
And I love being like, you have to shoot your shot until you get the shot. Or like, tell me how you shot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah, and then they do, and I'm like, this is fun.
And you're like,
here you go.
Here you go.
Well, you're a really good decorator because even the few art pieces you sent me, I love.
Well, the biggest thing about decorating is sometimes it's not even as much as what it is, it's the scale. Mm-hmm. And people always mess that up. Like, they don't understand, like, sizing. And I would never know it had I not worked for an interior designer, but I understand. So I'm like, we have to just scale things.
Yeah. So for the past, 3 weeks, I have been on my deathbed, and I can, feel my energy coming back.
Yes.
Now that I signed it, I'm like, wait, I'm becoming a human again because I'm not going to be homeless.
I was going to text you after Monday because I saw you for happy hour. and we were like with some friends, and
about
one of them was like, "Is she okay?" Like I was like, "No, she's not. She needs to find this apartment." And by Friday, if she hasn't found one, I'm gonna text her and say, "I will not leave you homeless. You can live with me. We will put your furniture, like, you will be fine." But I was like, I'll give her till Friday.
I literally was like laying in bed last night. I'm like, oh my God, if I don't have an apartment, I'll be homeless. And I was like, wait, what if my roommate last minute doesn't want to live with me anymore? And then what if I'm left in the streets?
It's just this abandonment thing that's not realistic. And I just knew. I was watching it.
And I was in therapy. My therapist, we're talking about like attachment styles, and she's like, I think you might have some abandonment issues. I'm like, you think?
Yes.
I do.
You do.
So,
But you know it.
I'm very aware, yeah.
And it's very helpful to tell people that.
Yes.
And so then they just know, and they're like, oh, okay, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to like decorate it and then show you it. And it's even like since I have a room, I'm like, I can have people over.
I feel like you're gonna feel so much lighter.
I think you would love the Upper West Side.
I do. I had a friend that moved here originally and lived on the Upper West Side, and I loved it. And my very favorite Mexican restaurant's up there, and my favorite biscuit place.
Really?
Yeah.
What streets?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I could pick it out on a map.
Okay, we'll have to go through it because I'm pumped. Also, you need to say that channel's name.
Oh, okay. So we did a question of the week earlier where I asked Jordyn if she would rather watch for the rest of her life Disney or Nickelodeon, which apparently I just said something like I have grown up saying Nickelodeon my whole life, and everybody I've ever spoken to has also said Nickelodeon.
If I'm ever in a bad mood, just say that to me.
Nickelodeon.
Alex Bennett, it is a fact that is Nickelodeon.
We are saying the same thing.
No, you say it again.
Nickelodeon.
You're not saying the D at the end. Nickelodeon.
Oh.
What?
Oh no, I'm saying Nick.
Nick.
Oh. Nickelodeon. Ian.
It's Nickelodeon. Dean.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a D in it. Wait, hold on. I don't even think there's a D typed on this question.
I'm literally crying.
Nickelodeon. They messed that up. Nickelodeon. My whole life.
Nickelodeon. The song?
Yeah. But
You say it.
Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. It works just Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. That's bad marketing.
It feels really good to be on the other side of history right now. Because usually you're like, you say this wrong. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Well, this is actually bad because opinion could be, like you say opinion. We're still that's spelled correctly.
Yeah.
We're not missing letters. Rough, roof, that's fine. Oh,
Yeah.
up for debate. Nickelodeon is really just missing a very large letter.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
The D.
Anywho.
The more you know.
Where did we leave off last time?
Well, we did talk. Well, one thing I would like to do a callback to previous episode.
Yeah, what's going on in your life? What's happening?
Well, I went to Chicago.
Did we talk about that on the podcast?
Yeah, I think so. Or we referenced that I was doing it. Can I tell you something? My 30th birthday was my favorite birthday I've had yet. And then I
Thanks. Wasn't even there.
You were there for the party. But you left.
I'm kidding.
Wait, no, yeah, I was like, hold on. You were there that was my favorite birthday party I've ever had.
That was the coolest birthday party I've been to. Like, I loved the disco cowgirl theme.
And I felt like that place, it's my new favorite spot. But all this to say, so then I was listening to somebody talking about how they love their 30s, and there's this stigma on the 30s. And so then in my head, that they were I don't know, they were talking about it. And I was like, why do so many people say 30's just a number or 30's a mentality? And then I'm like, no, 30's just an age, and it's the fucking best age ever. Why does it have they kind of put this double negative on it almost? I'm so proud to be 30, as though the opposite of that would be that you weren't. Do you know what I mean? So it makes it seem like you're coming back from a negative, but it's in fact it's just only a positive.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Who did we talk to where they were maybe it was with Alana, where she was saying you don't have to stop having fun. You just have to find new things to have fun in that age.
Yeah.
Or do in that age. For example, going out.
Mm-hmm.
Stop going to the 21-year-old bars, go to the 30-year-old bars. You can still have fun. Just go to a new bar.
They're a little bit more, I still love dive bars, so I don't even want to go there. I was going to say, you know what? The 30s to me feel peaceful, but I forgot it. When I turned 29, like I remember turning, I was like, I'm 29. I like forgot I turned 30. And then the other day I was walking around and I was like, this is great.
I'm pumped to be 30.
You're going to love it.
I feel like the 30s are the 30s. Your 30s are the best years of your life.
And then people start saying it about the 40s. So we always got a lot to look forward to.
Honestly, the Kardashians thrived in their 40s, so I'm pumped for it.
Well, who said the other day? They're on the somebody said like, I'm aging like Kim K, and I was like, what does that mean? And she was like, better. Like, she looks better now than she ever did. And what is she, 42, 43?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, that's good.
I love that. Okay, so what did you do for your birthday? You went to Chicago.
Went to Chicago, and I met, remember how we had the episode about the guy? I never thought I would meet him. The guy who did the travel lube.
Wait, can we say it's my boyfriend? Isn't it my boyfriend's boyfriend?
It's your boyfriend's. It is Jordyn's gay boyfriend. who we still do the group text
He
with.
didn't text me back last night. I know.
That was very rude of him.
I texted him. I was like, "You look good making that content." He didn't text me back.
We should re-text him and be like, "Excuse me."
I'll do like the little like.
Oh, bump it.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him like the exclamation points. So he brought his best friends to Chicago, and like I ran into them, and I met the guy, and I was like, "You're travel lube guy."
His boyfriend.
No.
Oh.
Remember, it was his friend. So remember Jared, your gay best friend, or your gay boyfriend, your boyfriend.
My boyfriend.
He had his best friend over, spend the night with him, like not with him, but in the guest bedroom, and he brought the travel lube.
Yes.
And we were like, why would you travel with lube? But you were for it. And I was like, I think it's weird to pour it in like a mini bottle and bring it, but you had a lot of good points.
Yeah.
I've come around on that, and I'm actually with you.
That's the Nashville episode if people want to go back and listen.
Do a little recall.
Yeah.
So then I meet him, and we're talking, and then he's like, I'm the travel lube guy. And I was like, oh my God. So I perhaps coexisted with the person that he took home. And I was like, did he have travel lube with him? And she was like, no. And let me tell you, she was like, he's the best person I've ever slept with. Like, she said
Oh, he's straight?
Yes.
Oh.
Does that change your thoughts on the travel lube?
Kind of. It shouldn't, but I don't know.
You thought he was gay?
I thought he was gay, yeah.
Oh, no, he's straight.
Oh.
Highly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, now this is such a bad mindset, but now I'm like, he's just trying to sleep around now.
But see, I feel like he wasn't trying to sleep around. I feel like he knew he wasn't going to sleep around.
Then why'd he bring the lube?
I think because he knew.
Because he was going to sleep around.
I think he knew he wasn't.
Then why did he bring the lube?
Well, he didn't bring it to Chicago, and he did sleep around, so I think he brought it because he wanted to jack off.
Oh, for his own needs.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Uh-huh.
I mean, hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I'm for it in all aspects, and thank you because you kind of changed my mentality on that. But anyways, all that to say, I met him, and he apparently is a great bang. And so good for him.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love meeting characters in real life.
It was, yeah, I was like, oh.
Did you listen to that episode? Is that how he knew he was a travel lube guy?
No, your boyfriend told him.
Okay.
Yeah, that it was the title of the episode, so I think.
That is very true.
He was like, okay, what about you? Besides the apartment, what's been going on?
My life has been a little bit of a blur with the whole apartment thing.
It has been. My mom asked me yesterday, she's like, Jordyn, okay. I was like, just needs an apartment. We'll be okay.
Is it really that noticeable?
Well, no, you just, like, you were so, that was a big thing for you. And, like, you had convinced yourself that you could be homeless and not have a roommate, which would be more of a financial burden. Like, that to you can, like.
But was it that noticeable on Monday?
Yes.
Really?
But I knew.
That's true.
I knew exactly what it was. It's like when somebody's like just like slightly distracted by something.
Yeah, I also feel like I like show all my emotions on my face.
Yeah.
I'm just like in a daze. Yeah, other than that, still dating. Went to the Jersey Shore for the 4th. That was fun. Had a little beach makeout.
Oh, did you? Like
I don't know why everything's so funny.
Beach makeouts are. Wait, I have a mental image of this. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's break down the beach makeout. First of all, do you have his phone number in your phone?
No.
Okay, do you know his name?
Yeah. I do have his phone number.
In your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, have you talked to him since?
No, I don't want to.
But you haven't?
I mean, I am choosing not to.
But he texted you?
Yes.
Okay, did he come up to you at the bar and was like, hi?
So what happened is we went to one of the bars in the Shore, and I ran into somebody I know, and he was with all his guy friends. So we were all hanging out with them the whole night. And we all kind of like, you know how you just like when you're with your girls, like you're single, they're single, and then you meet guys who are single, you all like pick a person.
Yeah, and you kind of just, yeah.
Yeah, so I like picked a person. He was mine.
How did you feel about your pick?
In the moment, I felt great.
If you compared them to all the other picks, would he have been your first pick? Line them up. That's your one? Or did somebody get the one you really wanted?
Well, one of the guys had my ex's last name, so I was like, triggering, can't. Or his first name.
Oh, I was like, the last name?
Had his first name, so I was like, nope,
That's
can't.
true. Oh, is that a thing for you? If they have your ex's last name, it's a no?
First name?
First name?
No, but it'd be kind of hard to date someone who had even like my brother's name or my dad's name. I don't want to, like, I wouldn't want to be like, hey, Scott, hey, Colton. Like, that'd be weird in the bedroom.
I could never date a Michael.
Or
a Joe.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No.
Or an Alex. Or a Jordyn.
Oh, Alex would be so weird.
Yeah, I could never. You could Jordyn and Jordyn, like that to me. They could be the love of your life, and since you and I have those like unisex names,
Yeah.
could never.
Could never.
You can't.
I could never say something like sexy to them.
No.
Or I would like send the wrong text. I mean, if you got any of my texts, that wouldn't be the end of the world. But I feel like I would get you guys crossed all the time.
Yes. Bad for business.
But no. So I thought he is cute. I'll tell you why I'm not talking to him. But it's not a bad thing. It's funny. But so we met at the bar and then we all hung out and then they were staying at a house like walking distance. And I knew one of the guys like very well. Like, so these weren't like strangers.
Walking distance from you or walking distance from the bar?
From the bar.
Okay.
So everyone's like, let's go back to the house and hang out. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But me and the guy were like, let's go to the beach. Don't really remember how we got to the beach. All of a sudden,
Not important.
And we just like went in the lifeguard stand and, you know, made out. Woke up the next day, bruises all over my leg from.
Do you think you fell?
I think I did, yeah.
Off of the lifeguard stand?
I think like just like hitting my, you know how like they're really like.
They're so wood. They're thick wood. Unforgiving wood.
Like I have to actually, I will show you a picture of my leg.
Oh.
It was so bad. I was like, oh my God.
Hold on. So you walked to the beach and then chose to get on top of the lifeguard stand and make out there?
Yeah, so.
Are we sure it was just a make out?
Yeah.
And there was no, like, you didn't, like, roll.
Oh, no, we rolled around.
Oh,
but,
God.
like, we didn't.
No. Your foot slipped.
Yeah.
And grazed it. Nick will send you this to put up on the screen.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, my foot hurt the next few days. Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, your ankle. That's the classic, like, your foot slipped and grinded down.
So, but it was so funny because at first I was like, I'm not going to tell the story, but who cares? Don't let me forget that picture to send to Nick.
I sent it to him.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But, so you know how lifeguard stands, like, at the beach, like, they're laying flat? When, like, at the end of the day, like, they all lay the stands flat.
No.
Yes, just in case, like, weather or anything, and then every morning lifeguards, like, push them back up.
Oh, so you didn't even have to climb it?
Oh, no. So what happened was...
No.
He was trying...
No, you didn't stand it back up. Why? For what? What was the point of that?
I don't know, Alex, we were drunk.
But why do you need to get on the lifeguard stand?
But I don't know, because we were like, this would be fun. But he...
No, please tell me, like, there's video footage. I'll do it mentally. Okay, keep going.
He tried to push the stand up. He couldn't. So I was like, all right, bro. And I just like,
move over.
I literally was just like, all right.
One-armed it.
No, I was like, all right. And I was like, right there, that's a problem. But I was like, whatever, it's fine.
That's not tonight's problem. That's tomorrow's problem.
Exactly.
Was that the deal breaker? That's why you haven't talked to him?
No, the deal breaker is his age. He's young.
22?
25.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, just like, you know, when you're at the shore, you're not like looking for anything.
No, it's just like fun.
My mindset's like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
But like such a fun night.
Yeah.
And is he very like not that strong or
I don't
skinny?
No. I don't.
Tall?
Not really.
No stats.
No stats.
Good kisser?
Yeah. But what happened was, so I had my hair in like a slick back bun.
Okay.
And like, you know how like when I had my hair slicked back, like if you were to mess it, it would like come out. So I like walked into the house.
No. Okay, so we've got this like back bun and we're like, he can't lift up the lifeguard stand, so then you push it up. I'm assuming go in the lifeguard stand and come out and your hair is just like this. And oh my God.
So I walked back to the house.
Please tell me somebody saw it.
With all my friends are inside. All of the guys are inside.
You looked electrocuted.
The whole night I'm proceeding to just like play drinking games, hang out with everyone. I go back to the hotel, my hotel, with my girlfriends.
Thank God.
And I look in the mirror. And I am like, why did nobody tell me I looked like this? I have never seen an uglier version of myself in my entire life.
Quick pause to talk about HelloFresh. Take a bite out of summer with HelloFresh. From chef-crafted seasonal recipes to their new fresh and fit summer menu, HelloFresh brings flavor right to your door. And they really do, because every time I order this, I love the meal prep, but I love that they make it easy and they dose out the ingredients for you.
It's the only time I cook.
And it's like, it's happy cooking, honestly.
Yeah.
Pre-portioned ingredients help cut down on food waste, while step-by-step instructions make cooking a breeze and not a chore, if that's not the most true thing in the world. It's peak time for summer produce, and HelloFresh makes sure you get all the best picks all season long. Their ingredients travel from the farm to your door in less than 7 days for quality that you can taste, and that's true every time. I've always had it. So fresh. HelloFresh gets that you want options when it comes to what you want to make for dinner, not just the same old thing all the time. That's why they offer 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so you'll never get bored and can always find something new to try and love. When you need dinner fast, don't call for delivery. Think HelloFresh. Their fast and fresh recipes are ready in just 15 minutes or less. Plus, HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than takeout. I think that's the biggest thing, like the price mixed with the convenience. Doesn't get any better than that. Go to HelloFresh.com/mean50 and use code MEAN50 for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/mean50 and use code MEAN50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Enjoy.
And my friends are like, we told you multiple times. You just didn't care.
And it was like pulled out.
It looked like I was electrocuted.
I can't.
Like
I'm imagining you coming up from the chair with like the cat that just got fried.
I have like sand in my teeth. Like it's like someone took my. I was literally eating sand for like 3 days after that.
Gross.
It was so bad. And I was like, only in the Jersey Shore.
Well, the lifeguard stand there though that's exceptional.
Yeah, I won't be going back to the shore. I think that was my last summer there.
PTSD.
Just, I think I'm a little too old for that.
Oh, okay. Where you're like, that was fun, but no more.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go home, like, now. And then I went home the next day.
Oh, did you leave early?
No, that was the last night.
Oh, okay. That was the proposed time to depart.
I was like, I gotta go home.
Okay. And you haven't talked to him since. Does he live in the city?
No. He lives in he does not live in the city.
With his parents?
I'm not gonna say where he lives. No, he like texted me, but I mean, one, I'm not gonna pursue a 25-year-old, and two, like my mindset, like when you have like, it's kind of like the box theory. Like when I was at the Jersey Shore, I had the mindset of anyone I meet, I don't want to pursue a relationship with. Mm-hmm. So like anyone I met, it probably could have been my dream man. I had the mindset of not wanting to pursue anything. So like that was my mind. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, let me ask you this. Because I have my little intern sometimes shows me some messages that she gets on Hinge.
Oh.
And this one, so she got a message from a guy that was like, something about I just want to stay friends. Like he messaged her on the Hinge app, right? And said, I want to be friends.
No, he texted me after the date.
Oh, you have him under something Hinge.
Yeah, his name's something Hinge.
That's how mine are too.
Okay, I thought it was the Hinge app. That's how much I don't know. So he texted her and he's like, I just want to be friends. And she sends it to me and she's like, what? Why are you texting me that? One, I don't want to be friends.
Yeah, what?
But number two, like, what is the point? And I was like, I was like, don't even really respond. Like, what an unnecessary thing to be like, you know what, that was fun, but I just want to be friends.
He doesn't even need to, I think after the first date, that is the only time where you, I guess, quote unquote, can ghost somebody. Like, you don't have to message them after the first date.
Aren't you not even ghosting if neither of you text each other? Like, you haven't texted him, he didn't like.
To me, it's not.
If you go on 3 dates a week, they're not all going to be like, oh my God, we're perfect matches.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, the text of the friend, he maybe now that I'm saying it out loud, he thought he was being like polite, but I was like, I really find that very unnecessary. Unless you've been on like 4 dates and you feel like you owe some kind of.
Oh, I think after 3 or 4 is perfect.
You could be like, you know what, this was really fun, but
yeah,
we're not like I don't even know if you need to say friends.
No,
but.
After the first one, you can mutually ghost each other.
I agree.
That to me is kind of like he wanted her to see like what her response would be.
Yeah.
To be like, I need my ego stroked.
Right, and we were like, we're not going to be doing any ego stroking today because we'll just be like, okay, no big deal.
What is your thought on if you're on a date? Because you go on so many dates. What's your
Yes.
thought on
We channel 5 years ago, okay, or I mean more than that.
if you go on a date and somebody talks about dates?
Okay, and are they talking about specific, like one time I went on a date with a girl who, or?
No, it's more so like, I went to this, because like if you're talking about your favorite restaurant, for example, and they're like, oh, I actually went to this one place on a date a few months ago. It's a really great place.
Okay, that to me is the least offensive.
Yeah.
If they're like, I also find it not offensive if somebody says like, the dates I love are happy hour, and then maybe we go to dinner. Like if they're talking about a type of date, if they reference a restaurant, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But if they get too specific, like, oh, this one time I went on a date with this girl who,
No.
why are we thinking about it?
I know, because I went on a date a while ago, and he like brought up that he's gone on a date, and I'm like, when you're with me, I'm the only girl you're dating, okay? First of all.
The only person in front of you is me.
I'm like, no one exists but me.
Agreed.
But like I thought about it, and I was like, I don't think I found it that offensive, because I think it was just like, some people like don't think it was just like part of the conversation.
Well, I was going to say, too, I think you can read the kind of guy. So you and I were talking about egos with guys the other day.
Yeah.
And I think it's very easy to see where they're coming from. Like, if he's coming from a place of, like, so I've been on a lot of dates. Or if he's like, okay, so literally I did go to that restaurant, and he's trying to tell you about the restaurant, but date kind of comes out.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy? I feel like something is shifting, because one, I haven't been like going on like a million dates lately, but I've been dating probably more than I have in the past. But the questions that guys are asking me are so much more, I don't know what the right word would be. Not intense, like intimate. Like multiple guys on the first or second date have been like, do you want kids? Like, what are you looking for? And I don't remember getting asked these questions 6 months ago.
You weren't getting asked any questions 6 months ago.
Facts.
You were going on dates and you were asking questions.
That is so true.
And then you would come back and be like, they didn't ask me anything. So either we're starting to get a lot of pod listeners taking you on dates that are like, let me ask her some questions, or something is shifting and you're really looking at the type of person I feel like that you're, but that you can't always tell that off a profile. No, you know what I think it is? I think it's just like the theory of cast more,
Yeah.
get more.
It's just been weird, like when people are like, do you want kids, or what are you looking for? And I'm like, whoa, I appreciate those questions. I think because like at this age, like I'm indifferent about kids. Some days I want kids, some days I don't. But let's say I like really, really wanted kids. I don't want to go on a first date with someone and fall for them if they're like never having kids.
I would agree with that.
So I mean, I like don't mind those questions.
No, I think those questions are only good because there are some things, like we always talk about how you find your non-negotiables when you're talking to a guy. Or, no, before you meet a guy, I think you make your list of non-negotiables. Kids for you would be in the middle. That would be I might want kids, I might not. But living in New York or something like that could be like a I must.
Yeah.
And then maybe for you, like, if they love wine or something like that, that's a plus. But you find your non-negotiables, and then if they ask you some of those on the first date, like, that could be a really good weeding out.
Yeah.
And you're not wasting people's time.
Like if I met someone and they're like, I want to move back to Missouri and grow like farm, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, you'd be like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Now, then there could be the one-off chance of like, but man, I loved everything else about him, so and then like there could be that shift.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool when guys ask like in-depth questions like that. What's a question that you ask a guy on a first date that is sort of in line with like, do you want kids? Do you have one?
I always ask people like what their dream. This isn't like that intense, but it's like I like shuffle between three. It's like, what are you most proud of in life? What's your biggest mistake in life? And then what would be your dream career if money wasn't like an obstacle at all? Because I feel like that question actually shows a lot about a person, because sometimes, I don't know, like I've gotten answers where I'm like, I don't know, it shows like how open-minded someone is, or like how much they believe in themselves. Because sometimes people are just like, a job where I'd make a lot of money. And sometimes people are like, I want to own a sports team. So I like shuffle between those three.
I think I've been talking to people a lot about what would your job be if money didn't matter, because I think it gives you so much insight of their passion too.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, I would love to be a teacher, you'd be like, okay, do you love kids? Do you love like impacting their lives or something like that? And I feel like that's such an important thing.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, for both of us, if money wasn't a thing, aren't we doing what we would want to be doing no matter what? Are we? Or would yours be something different?
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, well, you might want to be a wine and coffee store owner.
Mine would be, like, if I would do this still, but I would own my own wine brand.
Yeah, that would be your...
Yeah.
You could still do that
Yeah.
But that would be your if money didn't matter
Yeah.
moment.
But my therapist, like a few weeks ago, was like, you should start asking guys what they're most proud of and what their biggest mistakes are. Because, like, the proud of question will really show you who a person is. Because sometimes people are like, I'm so proud of my investment. All right, cool, bro. You're not my guy. But sometimes people are like, I'm so proud of X, Y, and Z with my family. And you're like, okay, they're really family oriented. Like, they care about their family. They aren't shallow. Like, it just shows so much about a person. But it's such a simple question.
What if they're proud of their investment because they saved up and worked their ass off for it?
That's a different story.
Are you in on that though? Like, or is that something that you're still like, that's not really for me? Or if they were like, I always wanted to invest in this company, I didn't have anybody to help me do it, and I waited tables and saved up, and then I invested in it.
That's different.
Okay, but
Yeah.
are you like, I'm wondering, are you more wanting the family value thing, or are you okay if it's more like ambition driven?
It depends, like, how they word it. Like, if someone's like, my investments this month versus like my investments so I can make money to follow my dreams. Such different.
You're in on
situations.
that.
Yeah.
That's like a green flag.
I know. I feel like people get so scared to ask intense questions on dates because they don't want to come across as like love bombing. But I feel like there's such a difference between getting to know and like weeding out the weak and then love bombing. Because love bombing is, it can come across like if someone's like, do you want kids? It's like, whoa, that's so fast. It's like, no, it's not.
Right.
Love bombing is like, so we're going to go on a trip in like a few weeks. I can't wait to meet like you to meet my mom. Like, she's coming next month. Like, I see a future with you, like all within like 3 weeks.
One thing that I've been working on with my friends is, I was actually talking to Graham about this too, is asking more in-depth questions. Like, we feel sometimes like we're walking around just asking everyone surface questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, so you've got 10 friends. Okay, well, 4 of them probably want, this is the biggest example that Graham will always use, is he'll be at a table and he'll say, I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then nobody at the table will ask him why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they all are too afraid to ask like the very obvious follow-up question to that. But it's like something like, do you want kids, or something like that gives you an insight into that person. And so I took that and I was like, I don't ask anybody, any of my friends. I'm not afraid to ask a new person in-depth questions.
Yeah. You ask me in-depth questions, but I guess our relationship's different.
But it's not, but I could even ask you more in-depth ones, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or like different ones. And I've been trying to do that with my friends at home too, just like a text message. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if there's one thing Jordyn and I are big proponents of, it is what, J-Dub?
Therapy. Go every day. Not every day, but I should.
I go every single day because in life, you never know what it's going to throw at you. And it's better to play offense instead of defense. And that is, here's the thing we always talk about. When it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, you have to prepare for the bad days and the good days. And that's why therapy and consistent therapy is the right path. And sometimes we go through things that are so difficult and we're like, we don't know how to navigate this ourselves. So who do we turn to?
Therapists. Also, like, therapy is so attractive. Like, I saw therapy was on a guy's dating app the other day, and it made me want to swipe because I was like, you go to therapy? That's really nice.
You're familiar with things? Like, you know how to handle your trauma?
You take responsibility for your actions?
Green flags. So whether you're dealing with decisions around career, relationship, or anything else, therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate life. So you can move forward with confidence and excitement. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is unlike anything else in this world. And so if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Seriously, there's like no more convenient way to do therapy. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/meangirl today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/meangirl. Happy therapy.
I love that because I feel like I ask a lot of questions and people are like, you're nosy. I'm like, no, I'm just interested in people. Like, a lot of people are like, I just don't want to be nosy. Because someone came at us after you said the Graham drinking thing. She was like, you should never ask why someone's sober. I'm like, okay, if they're uncomfortable with it, they can say that. But maybe some people do want people to ask what their story is. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, like, ask whatever you want and they'll tell you if they're uncomfortable and they won't respond.
Well, I think too, I would rather, okay.
It made me mad. I was like,
so our friend Hannah Eve that we went to the panel with yesterday, and I do want to get to like the best things we took away from that. Yeah. I think that was like, I left yesterday so fulfilled and like, this is why I love New York. But before that, she posted a video a long time ago talking about how something about how you should strive to make $100,000 or something. And everyone was like, there's people starving in Africa, and like came at her with all of these things. And I loved her video back because she was like, you can win any argument with that. Or you can always default to, you're too nosy. And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, you can win any argument. You can always go there to the bottom. But it's like, how do we raise the roof, right? So it's like, why raise the floor, or you can raise the roof? And I'm always like, I would rather go to bed knowing I asked more questions than I didn't ask enough. And like, if somebody asks me that question, I reserve the right to be like, I don't want to answer that.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I would rather you ask it.
Because, like, literally, at the end of the day, like, I've been asked questions where I'm like, I don't really feel like answering. Like, you don't have a gun to someone's head, be like, tell me if you want kids. Why don't you drink? It's like, it's just a question.
Right.
And, like, how do you build relationships and make more in-depth relationships if you don't ask the questions? Everyone wants to talk about themselves.
They do. They really do. And
Yeah.
I think that people feel you form a connection that way.
Yeah.
And it goes to show, too, it's like small minds talk about people. Okay, well, none of these questions that we're asking have to do with, like, gossip. Like, there's so much, they're, like, higher level thinking. And it's like, that's kind of that's a way to actually bond with somebody.
Yeah. I think a lot of people use, like, what people are saying to Hannah, or I don't want to be nosy, it's just, like, cop-outs.
Yeah, like, people, to hear that and then to automatically think children are starving. Of course they are.
Yeah.
We know that. And guess what? If you made $100,000, you could go help them.
Yes.
So think about, kind of think about it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. What about talking about what your friend texted you on ideals of guys?
Yes, that actually goes well with dating. So my friend, she gave me permission to tell the story. So she is seeing this guy, and she hasn't dated anyone in a very long time. She kind of took like a hiatus since COVID, just kind of doing her own thing, like focusing on her career, all that. But she started seeing this guy, and they became friends first, and like they just kept seeing each other. But she was like, I don't know how I feel about him. But she always talked about him with me, like every day. She would give me updates, and I'm like, okay, you also hang out a lot, like you like everything about him. And then the whole time though, I was like, no pressure. At the end of the day, at least like you guys can be friends, because she kept saying he's not my usual type. He's just not who I would usually date. And yesterday she texted me and she's like, wait, he just texted me, and I got so excited. And I was like, this is such a monumental moment. Like, this is great. And then we were talking, she was saying, like, at the end of the day, she's like, I think I do like him, but since he's not my usual type, I have a wall up. And I was like, okay, well, let's think about your usual type. Has your usual type ever worked? No, because you'd be dating them if it did work. And so I was like, maybe it's amazing that he's not your usual type, because this guy will work out. And then she was like, that's actually so valid. And she's like, you should talk about on the pod why we have like this wall up of what our usual type should be, and why we let our egos get in the way of like what we think we should date versus what we just want to date. I think that was everything in the text.
I think it was too.
Let me look quick. I'll let you read or look at it, because I can't.
Okay.
I don't know how to read when a camera's in front of me.
Like getting over what your idea of an ideal man is: body type, personality, career. I feel like it's so tied to ego and unrealistic expectations, when in reality we should just be getting to know the person individually and fuck what other people think. But like, how do you get to that point? So I bet a lot of people struggle with wanting a certain type of guy that looks a certain way, does a certain thing, which when we say does a certain thing, that means a certain type of income.
Yeah.
And has a certain personality. And then she says, get over what other people think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in her head, she's got the stereotypical man that like everybody would think is hot,
Probably, yeah.
attractive,
Yeah.
society's idea guy. And it's like, when we do that, I think you're choosing between making everybody else happy and everybody else think you're cool versus yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you have to pick you every single time, because number one, if you're only looking for a certain type, you miss out on all the other good ones around.
Yeah.
Who could be like your fit.
Well, and also, like, there's a reason your type isn't working. They're not a good fit for you. Or
Well-
you're not dating the right people. You're dating, like, what you think you should date,
Mhm.
so you're not actually connecting with them.
And imagine being like, okay, that's the one I should pick, so I'm going to pick him, but I feel this, like, hole in my heart every time I'm with him. But I know we look good together, but it's
Yeah.
like, do you love being with him?
Well, because I was, like, complaining to my chiropractor the other day and my therapist. Two different people.
Two different people,
It happened
yeah.
the same day. But I just was like, why can't I find anyone that I like for more than a few dates? And she was like, my therapist was like, you date the same people. And I'm like, okay, I've heard that a million times. But then my chiropractor was like, every guy you talk to me about is the exact same person. Like, same guy, a little different font. He's like, have you ever tried dating maybe, I don't know, not that type? And I'm like, wait, so if you recognize that, my therapist recognizes that, maybe I should really try to date a different type of guy.
I know, but I don't feel like you're picking these guys based off of some societal standard you think you should.
The last 2 guys I've gone on dates with, like this year, their occupations weren't even on Hinge.
No, I really think every time you show me a guy, you're like, okay, he's cute. I mean, this is the problem with dating apps, though. All you have to go off of is photos and like some prompts that they've answered on there, and then you're supposed to swipe a certain direction, and then you text them a little bit, and then you meet them on a date. Like that's not that versus, hey, I've known this guy for 5 years. I want to set you up on a date with him. I really think you would be a match. Those are 2 totally different things.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a lot to go off of. So how are you supposed to pick a different kind of guy?
I know, especially because, besides their physical appearance, like, I can't see what their personality's like.
Unless you go on the date with them.
Yeah.
And then you go on these dates, and I feel like you oftentimes leave and you're like, well, it wasn't a no.
Yeah.
So I'll go on another one.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like you're doing what that text is.
I think I used to a lot, but I feel like I've gotten better about it.
Yeah.
I do think I need to maybe try to date different types of guys, but it's like you said, how am I supposed to? The only way I could do that is if I met someone organically.
Like out. If you met them out at the bar.
Which is what she did. She met them organically and then was like, wait, not my usual type, but now I'm starting to like feel this connection.
I will say this about ideal types, though. I think ideal types will get you about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want to play the long game with it, it's got to be, you have to drop all the ideal types and just go off of connection.
Yeah.
And like physical appearance, I feel like, I do think a lot of people say, don't look at what they look like. You have to be attracted to your partner.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people get more attractive when you get to know them. Like if you see their ambition or if you see like their drive or their sweetness, tenderness, then you're like, oh, he's getting hotter.
Yeah.
But I think you have to be like, I think guys too. Okay, I was talking about this the other day actually. So guys, I think, can get hotter with their personality.
Yeah.
The guy I was talking to about this said, I don't think girls can necessarily.
No, because I feel like guys put you in a box immediately.
He was like, she could be a 10, and if she's dumber than a box of rocks, then she's maybe a 9.5.
I was with a couple guys the other night, and this one guy, so I was with a guy, and his like best friend was there, and he was telling me about this girl he likes. And he was like, I'm just not like really feeling it. I don't really think she's my type, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, let me ask you a question. The moment you met her, like, where'd you put her? I was like, did you put her in the girlfriend category, friend category? And he was like, not the girlfriend category. I'm like, so that hasn't changed from you this entire time? He's like, no, and I don't think anything will. So I asked him, I was like, is the box theory accurate? And they both were like, very much so. Like, when you meet a girl, within the first few moments, you will know if you want to pursue something with them or not. And if like, whatever that is, that's how it's going to be.
Girl, like,
I think there are some instances where you can change, like, maybe, like, a best friend. Like, they fall in love with each other over time. But I think in the back of the guy's head, he's always kind of known.
He knows the second, like because how many guys do we know that are dating girls and you're like, she's hot as can be, but they don't have like the chemistry. But
do they ever propose?
Let's talk about Zola, because what's more fun than weddings? And I recently went to one, and my favorite part about it was, I'm obsessed with paperwork. So like the menus match the invites, match the seating card. And I was like, I love a suite. So when you're getting married, it's not just about the big day. It's about all the days along the way leading up to the big day. And Zola is here for all of them. Weddings are such a great time, in the anticipation, the dressing up, the dancing. And you know what I really love? When the couple uses Zola to plan their wedding. My brother just settled on a venue, and now he's working on invites, working on registry.
Does he have a date?
Yes, June 21st next year.
Do you think he'll invite me?
To Napa? I know.
What?
I know.
And that's not my birthday.
I know. I was like, uh-oh.
Do you think he'd invite me?
Yes. Fuck yeah. And you know how he can track his guest list?
Zola.
Okay, it means stunning save the dates, which you're gonna get, and I am proud to have. I will be proud to have it on my fridge. Using Zola means gifts that you actually want to give, whether it's fancy kitchenware or contributing to a cash fund, which is really such a cool way to do wedding gifts these days, and Zola makes that so easy. The best part about Zola too is you can find out where you need to be, all the details about the wedding without texting the bride and groom, asking a million questions. It's all on the website. Amazing. In a cohesive place. So if you're planning a wedding or know somebody that is, do everyone a favor and use Zola. Your guests will love it almost as much as you will because it makes it so easy on both sides. So start planning at Zola.com. That's Zola.com. Zola.com. Happy wedding planning.
Amazing.
And he's like, she's so, and sometimes they do, and you're like, oh no. You're like, you know where that's going. And honestly, even then, sometimes I think it can work forever. But guys, I think they can move like 3 points on a scale based off their personality, or like if they call you the Uber, if they do whatever it is, it's like they can kind of fluctuate. So have you heard of the scale that the guy draws? And it's looks and then craziness.
Wait, who drew that?
I can't think of the guy's name, but he's the one that has the wipe off board and he says, fuck around and find out. He's that guy.
Oh, can you send me this when you find it?
Yes. But imagine like a graph.
Okay, so looks and then craziness.
Yeah, you got the X and the Y.
Okay.
And it's looks on one and craziness on the other.
Okay.
And he groups them into 3 different categories. So it's like 0 to 3, 3 to 6, and then 6 to 10 on both. And then he's like, okay, so if she's a 4 on the crazy, but a 7 on the hot, that's pretty good.
Okay.
And so he gives you these zones of like, that's your one night stand girl. She's hot, but she can be really crazy. Mm-hmm. Or you've got your hot, but she's not crazy. That's your girlfriend. That's your wife zone, that area. And then he's like, if she's a 0 to a 3 on the crazy, but she's a 9 or a 10 on the looks, he's like, that's your unicorn, and capture her because we want to study her. Like, so they've got this scale, and I was like, at first you're like laughing, mm-hmm. and you're like, no, I think that's how they really do think.
Well, because if you think about it, I guess I only can really use my own experiences, but with my friends, and I've talked to you about this, and my therapist, I'm always like, why does anyone like me? Like, why can't I find anyone to like be with? And everyone's like, no one's ever ended it with you. You've always ended it with people. But it's because like my mind has shifted so much. But like the guys that have dated me consistently, like more than 4 dates, they knew from date 1 or 2 that they wanted to pursue something. Like, their minds aren't changing. Mm-hmm. I feel like every guy that's ended things with me, by the way, guys have ended things with me, but it's been like from that first date.
1 or 2, yeah.
That's when one date. Like, the only time a guy's ever ended it with me is after a first date. Or it's been like mutual, like actually been like, I don't want to see you again.
Right.
But after like a 3rd or 4th date, I feel like you're kind of like golden. If he's not using, like, some people are like, yeah, we go on so many dates, but it's like, okay, he's not actually like wanting a relationship.
Right.
But like if you're dating like very, what's that word called? With intention. Like if you're dating someone where you feel like you both have intention, like the guy's not usually ending it, I feel like. Because they already know they want to pursue this girl. Within like the first like 5-ish dates. From like what I've seen with my friends, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I'm thinking about it. I don't think I don't think I've seen that. Like I see what you're saying, but I'm thinking about like my friends are like when I used to date people, and I'm like, I do feel like though you could get to like the talking phase of like 3 months and then be like, it just fizzled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that could be mutually or whatever. Like, I feel like
I'm more so mean like if you're dating someone with an intention, like the guy will let you know from the get-go if he does not want to pursue like a second date with you. Because
you mean just the first date?
Yeah, just the first date.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
That wasn't very clear.
No, that I think can happen.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think you can also get to date 10 and be like, okay, this was fun, but like.
Oh yeah, but I don't think those people are like dating with like full intention. I'm talking about the people like you date and they're like very much like looking for a relationship. Like that guy will know after the first date if he wants to continue it with you or not.
Oh, really?
I feel like in my experience, I've had guys that are like, I just don't. They're like, sorry, I just don't like see a future.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I don't know. Okay, I'm taking the other side of the coin, and I think that they could have good intention, but they could be like, I don't know yet, and they could be more like methodically testing it out.
But doesn't it go against the box theory?
I'm not into the box theory because I think it's too specific. Like I think there's a million different ways to skin the dating cat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we can't do it one way because every time I'm like, well, but then this, but then that. So I'm always like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I get the box theory, and I like it in a lot of ways. But I also think there's times I think if we like do the box theory, then it's like what your friend's saying about the ideal that you miss out on everything else.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because like when I think about my relationships in high school, they were all guy friends that I would never have probably dated when I first met them. But I got to know them, and I was like, wait, you're so funny and cute, and now all of a sudden you're like really hot.
Yeah.
Because I got to know them over a year or two.
Right. And I was like, I wouldn't want to be boxed in. I don't want to box like more of the open mind. I feel like you don't miss as much.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as a girl, I don't think girls box guys in.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Like, even the guys that I'm dating, it's like, they can do one little thing. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we box initially. Like, you know how they say you form an opinion in the first, like, what, 0.01 seconds of someone? And I think you do box, but I think we're more apt to be fluid
Yeah.
in our minds.
Yeah.
And I think that works.
I mean, it even happened to me this week, you know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
You know.
I think we have to be more like,
I was like, no, and I'm like, maybe, you know.
he's back. He's not back.
He's back.
Yeah, and then it's like, he's gone, and then I'm in. If we like him or if we don't, just text me and let me know that morning. By the way, we love him. Okay, great. I love him too. We hate him. Good. If I see him, I won't talk to him. I'm indifferent.
I wish you could just meet guys I date.
I really want to meet this one specific one we keep sort of like dancing with. I really would like to meet him.
I would really love for you to meet him too.
Yeah.
I just feel like sometimes there are people I date that I'm like, Alex would really like them.
And then I want to meet them and wonder if I would. But I don't know what setting I want to meet them in. That's the whole thing. Like, I think the best case scenario is like not meet them at a happy hour, but meet them for lunch.
Okay, so I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this lady was saying that when you date people, you need to stop going on traditional dates like happy hour or dinner or this or that. And she's like, you need to start just like bringing them into your natural environment. And I'm like, that's smart, because then you see how people interact and react and all this stuff. Because on a date, you really only can tell like how they treat like the wait staff or like their manners. But I was like, I would be so scared to bring a first date in like my life.
Yeah, but in reality, probably the best first date we can go on is to the grocery store, because there's nothing more awkward than like having to pivot around. Like, what kind of food are you both getting? Like, what are the things you're looking at? The grocery store.
Yeah.
Because you know what is it Morse, who we had on?
Yeah, Emily Morse.
What she said, like, hit me like a freight train. When you're in a heightened state of arousal, you're more likely to say things that you don't mean. And then she goes, just like when you're drunk or like when you've been drinking a little bit. So I'm like, people go on all these first dates and they drink like 2 bottles of wine, and then we're just saying, and I'm like, are these people really dating the real person? As opposed to like the store or breakfast or something, and it's like, that's the raw version of them.
Well, how many people have you got a text from me at like midnight? I'm like, he liked them. And in the morning, I'm like, ew.
It wasn't that cool. It's like you wake up and you see your phone and you're like, no, I didn't even like him.
That's why I will not sleep with a guy on a first date anymore, because you're so right. And like you don't remember some of the things you say, and it's just, it's a dangerous territory.
I'm in for the nerves. Like, I am in for date number 1. Like, please do not go to the grocery store type thing.
Oh, yeah.
But 2 or 3, like, I mean, if you really want to know.
I mean, my friend was like going on they're going to get plants together for their apartments. And I'm like, that is actually so cute.
Really cute. I don't know why I laughed initially.
But I'm like, they're going to go, because like she loves plants. So he's
That's
like,
actually really cute.
So he's like, can you show me some nice plants for my apartment? I'm like, he's like taking an interest to what she likes.
Yes.
They're going out in the wild, and they're doing something that's like so not normal.
Yeah, like having to meet at a restaurant is really not that hard. Having to go to a store, like go to a bookstore or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I always think about like my favorite dates in New York City, even if it's not with people that like I really enjoyed my time with, and it's always like the very like non-normal dates. Not normal dates. Like, it could even be going to like a sporting event. You just see people in a different environment.
Sporting events are a good one.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think that the worst first date is a movie, because you're not talking.
Or a concert.
or a concert. Like you're not talking to each other and you're not really getting, that's like so social and like there's no connection happening. But I think the best first dates besides the grocery store, because what else, that to me is like the most intense version of a human. But a sporting event's a good one because there's like logistics involved. You can't just meet at the seats. Like you have to meet beforehand. You have to go to the concession stand. You have to talk about the event.
You see how people act under pressure because like let's say the tickets aren't working out or like you're rushed. You have to, honestly, especially in New York, because you have to see, like, are they planning? How are you going to get there? Like, I remember I went to a game with a guy, like, a year ago, and Wi-Fi is so bad, or service is so bad by the Yankee Stadium, and his tickets weren't uploading, and he was so calm about it.
Oh.
He was like, we'll get it figured out. It's fine. And I was like...
Yeah.
But I was like, it was so cool to, like, see his character.
And then if he's like, well, if I can't get him uploaded, we're going to a bar nearby and we're going to have fun. Like, just for somebody that's not like, well, I can't, like, I don't know what to do. Because it is what is worse? Like, if there's a group reservation or something and I'm the one that made it, I can sit there and press refresh on my phone to make sure there's nothing like being the ticket holder. The pressure is, but then you do find out how somebody acts under pressure.
I mean, in my head, I was like, well, I would have, screenshotted these or made sure I had them in a place that I didn't need service, but that's just me. But I was,
and for that reason, I'm out on you.
But I was still very impressed with how he acted. He was very calm. He like was like, we're gonna meet at this Subway at this time. Overall, the whole date was like, I was like, you have a good character, and I really enjoy how you handle situations.
Well, then you know how he's gonna be in a pinch.
Yeah, I think activities are a really great way to figure out how people are gonna be. Because, I don't know, literally, when you go to get drinks, you cannot tell anything about a person besides, like, how they maybe are fake nice to a waiter. Like,
how somebody treats a wait staff is a top 3.
Oh, yeah, but, like, people can fake that, you know what I mean?
Totally.
On a first date, they can be very nice. But I want to see how you are without being able to plan how you're going to be.
Yeah, well, and there's not that many variables in meeting in a restaurant, eating, having drinks, and then leaving.
Yeah.
There are, especially in New York, there are so many variables out there in the wild.
Like, if a homeless person comes up to you, what are they going to do?
Right.
If someone randomly yells, like,
somebody going to walk street side.
Actually, I wasn't going to talk about my date, but this actually, like, was a good character moment.
Okay.
So, I did go on a date last night, and we were in an elevator, and it was me and him and, like, these 3 very, very drunk men, like, older men. And the 2 guys knew who I was, and they were being just, like, drunk and got very close to me. And I was with him, so I felt fine. But I was like, if I was just with them, I would have felt uncomfortable. But, like, right when we got the elevator, like, he immediately, like, put his hand behind my back and, like, pulled me away from them and like, asked if I was okay. And I was like, that was a very good character moment where I was like, okay, like, you can handle a situation. Like, you didn't, like, freak out or just, like, leave me in the dust.
Yeah, leave you or like, feel weird about that.
Yeah, and he didn't make a big deal of it. He literally just, like, put his hand behind my back and just, like, directed me out of the line of traffic.
The line of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, even in that moment, I was like, okay.
Thank you.
I was
Yeah.
like, thank you. I'll remember that.
Do you want to talk about our day yesterday?
Yes.
I thought it was, okay, so yesterday Jordyn and I were invited to speak on this panel.
The Level Up, right?
Level Up, yes. And it was for female entrepreneurs and creators, which is very different. I think we should nail this home right now. That is not an influencer event.
No.
That is the not opposite. I think there was influencers there for sure because influencers are creators and entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But this was like business owners, as people that work in corporate America that like are aspiring to do content or own a business. And I don't think either of us knew what we were like getting ourselves. We were just like, we were happy to be there, happy to be included. And we showed up. And so the first panel, we were panel number 2. The first one was business owners, founders.
Yes.
And we were the creator panel.
Yeah, it was like you and I, and then 2 people who like have their own marketing agency and are creators.
Yes.
Right? They both have their own marketing agency. Yeah.
Like social agencies. And I want to know like what your number 1 takeaway was from what you like from listening to people, because it was so funny because while we were speakers, I don't really even remember much about what we said. I was learning so much from the other 2 and the people that went before us and like the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, so Julia and I think it's Julia Montgomery and then Matt. What's Mal's last name?
Kilmer.
I like value their opinions and like their creative mind so much. Like I watch both of their videos all the time because I think that I've learned so much from them. So I also was just like, oh my God, I can learn so much. But it was so interesting hearing someone who does their own content and also does content for other people. But my biggest takeaway was, honestly, it was like, I love how supportive both of them are to, like, for example, like Mallory helping you. Like, I loved how she was like, I love helping Alex. I also love making my own content. There's not a lot of people out there who want to see other people succeed. And both of those girls, like, very much so want the people that they're working for to succeed, but they also want themselves to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that, like, I would, that'd be hard for me to, like, help to, because, like, I can, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, if I was helping other people and they were growing faster than me because doing the same thing that I was doing, it would be hard on me. But I feel like these two, like, they're like cheerleaders, like, no matter what the situation is. And I'm like, I loved that.
Yeah. So Hannah Eve was the one who hosted the event, who has a social agency herself, but holds these panels to literally inspire other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think that is so cool that she gives back that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's her whole, it's kind of like what goes around comes around is what it felt like for all of them. But what I found was so interesting from those girls was saying how the detachment and how everybody in the room was open to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of felt like the room got really communal when people were like more vulnerable, or they were talking about burnout, or like the girl that was like, I had a failed podcast.
Yeah.
And how everybody said like the entry level to success is failure. Like if you're not failing. And I think sometimes when people are failing, they feel like they're not, that they've lost it.
Mm-hmm.
And how people kept saying, you're the one that picks when you fail. So you haven't failed unless you give up.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many people in that room were like, I feel like I'm failing. And everyone was like, there's no such thing as failure until you wave the white flag.
Yeah.
And so it was like this whole proponent for everyone in there to be like, keep going. And like and then I feel like everyone else was like, I don't feel alone.
Yeah. I know it sucks how, like, I think we've talked about this in the past, how you have to talk about like the negativity is almost what brings people together. Like if everyone's talking about their success, everyone's kind of like not really feeling the vibe. But if people are talking about their failure, everyone's like, oh wait, because it's more relatable. And I do feel like when we were speaking, like us four, we all got very vulnerable, and I could like feel the energy shifting too, because it's like I was so proud of that one girl being like, I did have a failed podcast. I'm like, that's so brave of you to say. But now that we know that, I bet multiple people went up to her and like maybe gave her ideas, or she has an opportunity, or like, I don't know. I really like how Hannah allowed like a very vulnerable space for everyone to speak. It's like safe too.
It was very safe, and nobody was being who they weren't.
Yeah.
Everybody was just like very real with where they were in life. And then what I thought was cool is, because I always say to know where you've gotten, you have to remember where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
And when we left, Mallory was like, it's so funny. Like I almost didn't go to that, because Mallory was like, I had an event in the morning, I had that, and then I had an event at night.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, when I moved to New York, all I wanted was to have an event to go to. And she's like, and now I have 3 in one day. And I said, Mallory, I would have given anything last year to be in that room, let alone speaking in that room. And I didn't even realize that.
Oh my God, that was my first speaking event.
And that's like, and it's like that, you have to think about when we moved to New York, we would be like, it would be cool to go. But it's like you were speaking.
No, when Hannah asked us, I was like shocked. I was like, not you, but I was like, you want me to speak? I was like, why? Like I had a major imposter syndrome. I was like, why do you want me to speak at this? I was like, of course I have Alex. Like take her. But like, why do you want me to speak?
Not at all. And it's like, but that's where our minds go sometimes.
Yeah.
But I felt like, so sometimes our minds go to this place of, why me?
Yeah.
But in that room, I felt like we weren't pretending to be somebody else.
No.
We were just very much so coexisting, being like, oh my God, we go through this all the time. We're like, we have no idea what we're in. And being so open like that is the only way, I feel like, to inspire other people, because you meet them at a realistic place instead of being like, just fake it till you find it. It's like, that doesn't help anybody.
No. And I also love how everyone was like everyone's biggest hype girl in that room. Like I feel like we all were like uplifting each other. And I'm like, this is like, I have been very exhausted, as you know. But after I left that event, I was kind of like, all right. I felt like I got like a third wave, and I was like, I could really like conquer the world right now.
Yeah, and I think everybody left with that, and it's hard sometimes to show up to those things, because you start to be like, I don't really need that. But every time you go, I think you gain something from it. And yesterday I just found very powerful, and it was the whole purpose in one in 3 hours of why I love New York.
Yeah.
The people here are down for anything. They're creative. They're energetic. They're open. Like, proximity's everything. And I really felt that, and I was really happy that we did it.
I was too. I was proud of you.
I was proud of you.
Proud of
you.
Oh.
We did that. We did that on. We were like 1, 2, 3.
Proud of
you.
us. Proud of you.
Proud of us. We
Proud of
don't
you.
know.
Proud of you.
Proud of you.
I'm doing it. 1, 2, 3.
Proud of you. That's what it is.
Do you have a listener question or anything?
Okay, quick pause to talk about the one thing we will be taking with us on the Pink Whitney tour, the one and only No Days Wasted.
Because we're not going to waste any days when we're on that tour.
That's right, we're not, and we're going to be traveling like back to back. No Days Wasted is here to help you bounce back after a night out celebrating or touring, summer touring. DHM Detox is the ultimate vitamin for when you celebrate. It helps break down the toxins and make you not feel awful. We always talk about this, but people always think it's dehydration, but it doesn't matter how much water you drink when you're out. It's those DHM detoxes.
Yep.
This helps remove those toxins. They used research science to make this magic happen. Imagine this, a few drinks in the evening and you're having a great time, and the next morning you wake up feeling normal. Like when we head to the airport at Charleston, from Charleston, on our 6 a.m. flight to Nashville. Just take 2 capsules after your first couple drinks and it goes right to work. Double up and take another packet if you're having a big night. And the best part is it's not a packet of powder you put in a drink. They're pills. You just zip, pop them.
Which is so nice because when you're at the bar and you forget, you can just quick take a swig of it with like your alcohol. You can't put like a packet into your alcohol and take a swig of that.
Right, you have to and then you chug in the whole thing and it doesn't, yeah.
It's great.
Forget the brain fog and that gross feeling the next day. Summer's in full swing and No Days Wasted is here to help you bounce back after a night out. No Days Wasted is available on Amazon for next day delivery or go puff in 20 minutes or less. Get it delivered to a party or the bar or your house. Just search No Days Wasted on GoPuff. I mean, that would be the way to be the hit of the party. DHM Detox is a risk-free purchase, so if you don't love it, they'll refund you on your first 10-pack box. So give it a shot. It's a no-brainer. Check out their recovery bundles for the best recovery experience with DHM Detox and their hydration replenisher. Don't you worry, guys. We've got you 20% off your order and free shipping in the U.S. Just head over to nodayswasted.co. That's C-O, nodayswasted.co/meangirl, and use promo code meangirl at checkout. That's nodayswasted.co/meangirl for 20% off your first order. And note, it's really .co, not .com.
Love.
Incoming from intern Ames.
Okay.
Which actually it's Ames.
Ames.
And I always say it wrong, but it's Ames. Nickelodeon and Ames are like, I'm really not, I'm batting zero.
Is it Ames or Ames then?
Ames.
Ames. Okay, Ames reminds me of like Ames, Iowa.
Yeah, like Anne-Marie and then Ames. But I'm like Ames? I don't know. It's too far gone.
Was it Amory or Amory?
Amory.
Okay, I always say Amory. Wait, Anne-Marie?
It's like
Amory.
Anne space Marie, but it's Anne-Marie.
Amory.
Am with
okay,
an
because I said Amory once. I think I was like, no, it's Amory.
Amory, yeah. Okay, so she was talking about how, what does it mean if a guy asks you to hang out the same day that he messages you? And to that, I say we are entirely too free.
Okay, so I have some thoughts from that because I did that the other day.
You messaged a guy and then asked him to hang out that same day?
No, he did that to me.
Oh, the 3 p.m.er.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so usually in a perfect world, I would say no because I think I'm like, what's the rush? But I have been so busy lately where I get it now. Like in New York, especially, like it's kind of like I'm free at this moment or I'll see you in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So usually ask me like 2 weeks ago, I'd be like, never. He needs to plan. But in that moment, I was like, wait, I told him, I was like, I am free from 3 to 5 today.
And he was like, so am I.
And he was like, that I can make it work because he wanted, and I took it as like he just wanted to see me. Yeah. And we went on a 3 p.m. date.
But that to me feels like a little different scenario of like, hey, do you want to get dinner tonight? Like for the first shot. Like, didn't he try to schedule something different or like ask you and then you were like, okay, this is really like, I'm free from 3 to 5 today?
I guess it wasn't the same day. It was like Thursday. He was like, do you want to get drinks tomorrow? So like, yeah, I guess it wasn't the same day. It was within 24 hours, but it was like Thursday and he was like, do you want to get drinks tomorrow?
Because I think if someone's like, hey, at noon, they're like, hey, we just matched free tonight at 7, I think I'd be like,
oh no. Even like, so what other guy I'm dating? he was like, do you want to meet? Because he was like working from home. He was like, do you want to meet and get coffee today? And I was like, in what world? I'm like, it is 11 a.m. You think I'm just free to get coffee today?
Yeah, I don't like the same day.
Yeah.
I'm not even that good if my friends text me and are like, hey, free tonight. I mean, that's actually like way better.
Yeah.
But it's more so like, no, I think if he's free that day, it's a little bit, I think everyone's too open.
I also think it's a little disrespectful too. It's like, take some time and plan.
Yeah, hit him up for a later date.
Yeah, I think if your boyfriend, girlfriend, obviously that's totally fine. But
That's cute.
Yeah, but in the early stages, it's like, girls like effort.
Date number 4, if they're like, okay, I know we didn't have plans, but I would love to go to happy hour with you. I think that's adorable and
Yeah.
so sweet, and he misses you.
Yeah.
But we haven't met yet, and I think that it's not. Did you go? Okay.
No.
He asked me to come to his house.
What?
Oh my gosh. This guy. Okay, I remember him. He asked her to come
Stranger
over.
danger.
Stranger danger. And I think in New York especially, we just have a plethora of restaurants, places to go. Inviting somebody over to your house for date number 1 is like, no.
What did he want to do?
Drink wine or something.
Yeah, he was like, you want to come over and drink wine? And I was like, I asked him, I was like, can we like go get drinks? He was like, yeah, come to my apartment first and then we'll go get drinks.
That gives me.
And I was like, I'm not gonna.
That gives me he wants to murder you.
He was like 35? Yeah. So we were like,
Not old.
and
Sorry, not old.
not old. But this is a guy that could probably afford to take you to happy hour.
Yeah,
Because
he's a lawyer.
he's a lawyer. It's
This
like,
gives lazy. I'm too lazy. I've had a hard week and I don't really feel like going out somewhere. Come to me.
well, and here's my thing. If you're going to invite me over to your apartment and you're 35 and you're a lawyer, it better be some apartment that was worth going to. Like,
Yeah.
at that point, you almost need to accidentally send a photo and be like, oh, sorry, that was my penthouse. Like, otherwise, it's like, why would you go there as opposed to, like, a restaurant?
Yeah.
Also, we can delete this if you don't want me to blow up the spot, but a lot of times we love the free meals. Like, we're not
Who
going
doesn't?
we're not going to somebody's, yeah, she's
Like-
always like, I need, and I'm like, we're not going to someone's apartment for them to pour you wine. Like, you can do that at home.
Yeah, and the next day, my roommate was on Bumble and saw him on Bumble, and I was like, okay, I kind of feel like he's just trying to like.
No.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay, if the mic didn't pick that part up, the next day her roommate saw the same guy on Bumble, and I have to say I hate that because
Do they match?
No,
Oh.
she just like saw him.
they did not match.
Ew.
That to me is flat. That's like so many flags. Inviting people over to your apartment,
I told him, I was like, I'm not gonna come to your apartment like first time I meet you. He did not respond.
and and then she said, I'm not going to come over to your apartment the first time I meet you, and he didn't respond. Oh, that's one of those people we should almost put out like a little PSA of like, beware
I
of
get
him.
like serial killer vibes. I'm not
Maybe-
gonna lie.
Maybe we should match with him and go and like bring a bunch of like take 10 of us over there and be like, what are you doing to people
No,
for the safety of New York?
it's creepy out there.
We should. That's scary.
Yeah.
I actually hate.
It gives me either I'm so lazy, like I've had such a hard day, you come to me, or he wants to murder her.
Yeah, like 50 Shades of Grey type thing.
Well, that's sex.
Yeah, but I feel like he could like pull you in and then like take you to some chamber and be like, you're not leaving. That's the vibe I get. That's somewhere between murder and lazy. That's like effort, but like you still get to leave alive,
Here's my red room where I like to whip people.
and you will stay.
Yeah.
It's like
I would be so creeped out if someone said that to me. I
Oh.
get nervous going to people's apartments even after, like, it has to be like 4 dates, I feel like.
No, I agree. There is like, let's put a safety disclaimer out there. Be careful.
Yeah, be very careful. I also feel like your gut will tell you too. You can get like a gut read.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to like have a friend come like be nearby.
I mean, or have your friend call you and text you a million times.
That's also.
Alex did that to me. I was like, I'm alive. I'm alive.
Oh yeah, it was very unlike you to not reply
I know. I got
until
a few.
2 p.m.
I had a few missed calls, lots of texts, and I was like, oh, she's concerned about me.
Well, you were like not sure. This was like you were like not sure about this date.
Well, it also doesn't help that I guess you can see my location. I didn't know you could see my location at the time because I can't see yours. So I was like, oh, she can't see my location. Probably thinks I'm like actually dead. But then knowing you could see it, then I'm like, no, wait, that would make her think I was more dead because you could see I wasn't home.
Yeah, I knew you were. Then I was like, well, in my head I was like, so Jordyn went on a date on Saturday night and was like a little iffy about going on it.
Yeah.
And then doesn't surface like till 2 p.m. the next day, which is very unlike her. And I was like calling and texting, and I was like, just kind of weird. I haven't heard from you. Like, so then I remembered. I was like, oh, I think I can see her location, and I went and checked it, and she had told me where this guy lived, and she was there, and I was like, oh shit, maybe he killed Maybe her phone's just there.
I was busy.
I was gonna go.
You would have been very pleasantly surprised by the apartment.
5 p.m. was my cutoff. I was like, if I haven't heard from her by then. I was checking your Insta stories.
I know, and I had like not posted anything that day. So yeah, I guess I kind of went AWOL.
You did go AWOL.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was
How
like,
spicy.
Oh, juicy. What really would have got me is if you opened it and it left it on red, then I would have known.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, he had your phone and he opened it and doesn't know your read receipts are on. And then I would have been like, okay, I got it. That's a good way to send me Morse code is just open up the text and don't.
Yeah, because you know I would never leave you on red. I'm just like too anal to ever do that.
You just simply would not. That would be the only way to be like, okay, she just doesn't have her phone.
But yeah, I had missed calls. I was like, oh my God, is everything okay? And I was like, oh,
They're worried about me.
They're worried about me.
They're like, I'm okay.
Yeah, that was a long night.
We have our first meetup tonight.
Yeah, but we already had it.
But we're going. I was saying that to segue into. Then we also have the tour.
Oh my God, we like never
is
even talk about it.
Yeah, this is like the first of the.
So many people keep asking us where the other dates and locations are. I don't know if we can legally say yet.
Oh.
No, we can say where we're going.
I was like, I've been DMing them all back the dates, which Amory has.
It's okay. It's okay. They were potentially subject to change, but I think they're now locked in.
I think they are too. Yeah, because the flights are sent.
Yeah,
I sent them the new dates though.
Oh, good. Yeah, because we're going to Austin, Dallas, Charleston, Nashville, and Tampa, end of July, and then in August we will be putting up a graphic with everything coming very soon. But tonight's our first one in Hoboken.
Yeah, this is like the little kickoff of the Pink Whitney tour, and this tour is going to be so much fun. Originally, we were going to do the Northeast, and then we went to Dallas or Oklahoma. I can't remember which one. And we were like, let's do more southern cities. So this is our little Northeast check, and then we're off to the below the belt.
I feel like the South is our like main demographic.
Mm-hmm.
We love the Southern men and women.
Yeah, these cities are going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Which one are you most excited for?
Well, so Austin, because I've always wanted to go, but also Charleston.
Charleston's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Austin and Dallas will be great. Just in general,
Dallas
they
I'm
will
not that excited for.
be. One guy can't run the whole bunch.
He's about to.
No.
No, I'm excited for Austin and Charleston. But also, like, I love Nashville and I love Tampa.
Nashville will be fun because it's at the bar.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Barstool bar. And so that's like, we understand. I love
like our
when
backyard.
I like when we go somewhere and we're like familiar with it. That's
Yeah.
always nice.
Mhm.
But Charleston is just like quintessential
Yeah.
love.
I'm excited. It's gonna make summer go by so fast, which sucks, but I'm so excited.
Somebody the other day said to me, enjoy the rest of summer. And I was like, oh, the rest?
I mean, it's July 13th today.
It has flown by.
When this episode comes out, it'll be what, the 17th?
I had a dream that it was my 31st birthday.
You're gonna blink and it'll be here.
But it was still the same amount of time.
Blink 182.
Blink one. Oh, yeah. Would you rather listen to Blink 182 or Good Charlotte?
Blink 182. They're like my OGs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really listen to Good Charlotte. Do you?
There's one song. Have you heard of St. John?
Can you sing it?
Roses?
Can you sing it? Oh, the TikTok song "Roses" by St. John.
Perhaps. Probably. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That is like, you can't get me off of it right now. I was up dancing to that all night. I've been having dance parties, but you should listen to him.
I can't with you. I can totally picture you doing that. No wonder you don't sleep.
Yeah, well, that because I get wired and then I try to get in bed.
I can just see you like trying on all your clothes and dancing.
I do. I try on all my clothes.
I just wish you would get rid of your clothes and give them to me. You're coming up with such a good fashion.
The
No,
intern's been taking them.
no. In what world?
Mallory's been taking them.
Wait, why?
She just takes them.
There's a bag at all times. Melissa doesn't want, so you have to come over.
I've been purging.
Alex
I'm
Bennett.
organizing. I've been doing my lawn. I've been very.
You're telling me you have a bag of clothes that you're giving away to other people?
Well, I'm selling a lot of them at the Real, and I'm
Okay.
making money off of them.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I sold a chair. I'm an entrepreneur over here.
If you are giving away anything for free, please let me look at it first.
I will. I have a new batch, and I will give it to you.
Because you have like the best clothes and.
I have a bag labeled Jordyn. Right now, I do.
Do you act? Shut up! Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Do you want to say it to me first to do it? The thing.
Do that one. Do what you do best.
What do
AB.
Everyone's like, everyone knows. I love the multicolored Birkenstock situation you have. They're black and white.
Thank you.
Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat. We'll subscribe to YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. And leave us a 5-star review.
Threads.
Threads. Wherever you listen to podcasts. And DM us listener questions. Go shoot your shot. Come hang out with any of those cities. And
Dates coming soon.
Dates coming soon.
Yes.
On a graphic to an Instagram feed near you.
Yes. Okay. Love you. Goodbye.